Hey everybody, today we're going to go over how to graph a system of equations to find the solution, but we're not going to use any technology. So we'll graph by hand. So on the top of the 3-1 notes page, you've got some classifications here that you have to actually read. So if it's consistent, then it has one solution or many solutions. So that's happens most of the time. So most of the things are consistent. Inconsistent means no solution. And if it's inconsistent, then that's all it is. Now, consistent, because it has more than one possibility, could be also combined with independent or dependent. So consistent could be consistent and independent. It could be consistent and dependent. But inconsistent is kind of on its own. So a system with one solution is pretty much a point of intersection, and that happens often. A system with infinitely many solutions, this is going to be the same line. So basically one line on top of the other. Now, a system with no solutions, these are your parallel lines, or lines that do not intersect. So we'll run through some examples, we'll find the point of intersection, and we're going to also classify it just like the directions say. So in order to graph these lines, we're going to solve for y first. So let's take this top line and get y by itself. So we have negative 5y equals negative 30 minus 3x, and then divide by negative 5. So the line is y equals 6 plus 3/5 x. Second line, I'm going to move the x over first. So we have negative 5y equals negative 20 minus x, and we'll divide everything by negative 5. Pay attention to your signs, so we get y equals 2 negatives make a positive 4. These 2 negatives make a 1/5 x. So you can tell by looking at the slopes that they are not the same. So these lines are not parallel. They probably intersect. I'm going to graph this line first. So we start up 4. And your slope is a positive 1/5, so we're going to go up 1 and to the right 5. Now, because we were looking for an exact solution, I'm going to be really particular about how I graph this, because I don't want my lines to look like it could have lots of different answers. So I'm also going to go down and to the left. So down 1 and left 5. This, hopefully, one of these 3 points is where they meet. Now, my other line, I'll graph this line. So we're going to start up 6. And if you notice, we can't really go up 3 and over 5 like it's supposed to happen. So I'm going to go down 3 and to the left 5. And you can see the point of intersection is actually right there from when we graph the blue line. And so read the graph. That point is negative 5, 3. And because it has one solution, it's consistent. And because it has exactly one solution, it's consistent and independent. And yes, you have to have both words. Let's try this one. Solving for y again, we have 4y equals 12 minus 2x, and divide them all by 4. Simplify, pay attention to your signs. We get 3. I'm going to reduce the fraction. So we have 3 minus 1/2 x. Second line is 2y equals 6 minus x, and divide everything by 2. And we get y equals 3 minus 1/2 x. These are exactly the same. They're the same line. So I'm going to graph it because we're told to. So we go up 3, then our slope is negative. So we're going to go down 1 to the right 2. I'm going to graph the points over and over again just because I can't draw a straight line. And then if you were to do the other line, it doesn't matter which one you call the other line, if we were to do this one, you'd see that you'd end up right on top of each other. So basically what that means is there's an infinite points of intersection. Every single point is a point of intersection. And so this has an infinite amount of solutions. And so if it has an infinite amount of solutions or many solutions, that makes it consistent. So we would say this is the same line, and we have consistent and, because it has infinitely many solutions, it's dependent. Now, for this last one, we'll solve for y. Changing all the signs, we get y equals -5 plus x. Second line is -2y equals 9 minus 2x, and divide everything by -2. So we get y equals, I'm going to make this -4.5, it's a little bit easier to graph, plus x. Now both of these lines have the same slope. So we know that they're going to be parallel, but we've got to draw the graph anyway. So I'm going to go down 5, and then our slope is 1. Again, I'm going to do up 1 over 1 many times just to draw my line. You only have to do it 3. So for this line, I'm going to go down 4.5, which puts me not on the grid. So when you go up 1, you're actually up kind of halfway and over 1. Up 1, over 1. So I'm going to do this over and over again just to show you. So it's really, really close to the other line, but it in fact does not touch that other line. So this has no solution. These are parallel lines, no solution. You can write that either way. But you also have to classify that, which means no solution has just one word. It is inconsistent. So it's up to you how you want to write no solution, but it is inconsistent. Please go ahead and do your practice problems, or you can watch the second video, the other video with how to do this in the calculator.